So today we begin from, or we look at binomial option pricing model. Binomial option pricing model. That's what we look at today, or where we begin. And we write that this is a mathematical technique. This is a mathematical technique that estimates This is a mathematical technique This is a mathematical technique that estimates the value of an option, the value of an option is a mathematical technique that estimates the value of an option by simulating potential price movements. Potential price movements of the underlying asset. This is a mathematical technique that estimates the value of an option by simulating potential price movements of the underlying asset. Full stop. It is useful for American options. 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 It is used as follows. 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 Can you remember American options, Ligani? Which are they? The American. I told you we have three types. We have the American, we have the European, we have the Bermudian. The Americans ni gani, Joyce? The Americans are the ones that you can exercise at any time. So you're saying it is used as follows. Let S to be the current underlying price. The current underlying price. Let S to be the current underlying price. Then one period later, one period later, S raised power plus. S raised power plus is upward price. Upward price. S raised power negative is downward price. Downward price. X to be the exercise price of the option. Exercise price of the option. Exercise price of the option. R to be risk-free rate. Risk-free rate. Risk-free rate. And I think there is something else we would have added. Kwa formula, we can also define it here. It should have been defined here. Nimeiweka huko chini, but I think I can also put it here. C, the call price today. The call price today. The call price today. Okay. So now, for a call option, for a call option, if the underlying price, goes up, the call option will be worth C plus, and C minor if the underlying goes down. If the underlying price goes down. If the underlying price goes down. In other words, our C plus, that is C plus, should be max of the S plus minus X 0. And C minus will be the max of S minor minus 0 minus X 0. So further, let U to be the move up factor. Move up factor. And the move up factor will be given as the S plus, you divide by S, move up factor. That is the probability that it will go up. Some other people will call it probability. D to be the move down factor. The move down factor which will be given as S negative, you divide by S. Then we will have S here and C. This one is the known. This one is the known. So if this is after one period, then what will happen? This one becomes S plus. And how do you get S plus? S plus ukitumia hii, it will be S times U. SU. The S and then C plus here will be the max of S plus minus X 0. Oh, that way. Then S negative will be, tumia hii, it will be SD. And C raised to power minus 1 c raised to power minus 1. It is what we have said here. It will be the max of s negative minus x 0. Have you finished copying? So now what we are saying here is almost nothing new. What we are saying is almost nothing new. Slightly tu kidogo, because we have been saying that an option, its value depends on the value they are deriving. So sasa hii model inaongeza tu kakitu kadogo, inasema there is a possibility that this price can go up or can go down. And that possibility obviously brings probability. That's why we are saying it's a mathematical method. And if then we go to two possibilities, as we value our option, we must then consider the two possibilities. That's just like what we did with delta. We did with delta that way, the percentage change per 1 shilling move up or move down. The same concept. So if right now the underlying is S, the core price is C. One period after now, these values to be there, then the S plus when we go up, the S minus when we go down, will make our call options to be valued like this. So we are only adjusting this and this, and we are showing it here. That if you want to get the up, this is how you go about it. The D, you get about that. So almost nothing new except that issue of moving up. Okay. Haya, so kama tumeelewana hapo, down there now we write that to avoid any arbitrage opportunity, to avoid any arbitrage opportunity, comma, since U and D since U and D represent 1 plus R, U and D represents 1 plus R, comma. If the underlying goes up or down, if the underlying goes up or down, if the underlying goes up or down, comma, the range is the range is on the lower side we have D, and the upper side we have this. Let N to represent the number of units of the underlying, the number of units of the underlying, the number of units of the underlying, H to be the hedge ratio, and this hedge ratio is given as NS minus C, the number of units of the underlying times the price of the current price of the underlying minus the current price of the call. Then N, if you want to know the number of units of the underlying that should be acquired, it is given as C plus minus C minor, you divide by S plus minus S minus. So this is like delta. If you remember delta, how we computed delta. Pi will be given as 1 plus R minus D, 1 plus R minus D over U minus D, and this one is the probability of up movement. Probability of up movement. One minus pi will then be probability of down movement. Remember, probabilities must always add to 1. That's why now this plus this should give us 1. Must always add to 1. Okay. If you are finished writing that, you write that these probabilities exist. These probabilities exist. These probabilities exist only when these probabilities exist only when the investor is risk neutral. 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 Full stop. For a put option, the above formulas are adjusted accordingly. The above formulas are adjusted accordingly. The above formulas are adjusted accordingly. Yeah, what I mean by adjusted accordingly is how we get the value of the put. You remember the value of the put now is the max of X minus MPS. Yeah. So now this will be the S. This is the S. Yeah. So instead of repeating all those formulas, and we already know how to value puts, how to value options, calls, I think that statement suffices. That in case you're dealing with a put option, those formulas you have given up there, kuanzia huko juu, you just adjust them accordingly. Haya, the next point that we need to make is the value of the option today will then be computed as follows. The value of the option today will then be computed as follows. C, that is if it's a call option, it will be given as pi multiplied by C plus, the higher price, plus 1 minus pi C minor. If you remember your probabilities, where we were talking about the expected values, here it is. The two possibilities. Ile formula tunasemanga, the expected value of X is given as Xi multiplied by probability of Xi. So unachukua the C plus, the higher, and the lower. You multiply by the respective probabilities you add. Ndio hii. Then it is divided. It is divided. In other words, we want to discount it. We want to discount it. 1 plus R. 1 plus R. And if you're dealing with a put option, you want to know the value today, the put price today. It is the same thing. You get the pi multiplied by the up put price plus 1 minus pi, the put negative price or down price. You again discount that 1 plus R. 1 plus R. That's how you get now the value of the put today according to this model of binomial pricing. Okay. Then down there you write that if two periods are involved, 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 let's see what happens. If two periods are involved, we will have, it's like a tree diagram, like a tree diagram. We have the first possibility here, the second possibility, the third, and the fourth. Tutaacha space hapa yenye tutaandika maneno. Then the first here, tutaacha ka space hapo. So sijui kama utangoja nichore ndio isikuchanganye. So sasa hapa ndio tuko na C na tuko na amina S na C yenye hatujui. Sasa hii ningeifanya ikuje hapa. Na hii niifanye ikuje hapa. So this is after one period. We move here and we move here. So here ndio tumesema it will be S plus and C plus. Na hapa it will be S negative and C negative. Then from here, we also experience the same possibility going to the second period. From here, we also experience the same possibility. This is now the second period. The second period. So sasa hiyo ya hapa, it is written as S plus plus. And how you get to the S plus plus, it is STU. ST, this one, you multiply by U. Then we have C plus plus. C plus plus, it is the same style that we said. It will be given as the max of now S plus plus minus X. That way. Then here now it will be S plus then down. And this will be the S plus multiplied by the down factor. So our C plus negative will be the max of the S plus negative minus X. That way. And then we do the same case here. This now will be S negative negative. And this S negative negative is going to be given as S negative multiplied by the up factor. Imeenda juu. Then our C negative negative will now be the max of S negative negative minus X0. Aya, then, sorry. Hii imesonga juu, is a plus. Is a plus. So this is also a plus. Even this one is a plus. It's a plus. Imesonga juu. So sasa hapa, ndio S negative negative. It is S negative down factor. S negative down factor. Imeenda chini. And then C negative negative. It is the max of S negative negative X that way. Maliza kuandika, sema finished or done. Are these things making sense, Joyce? No. You're not making sense. They are called probabilities. So, maybe utazielewa tu pole pole. But what you are saying, as I said, there is nothing new. It is just the normal way of valuing. Sinakumbuka venye tulisema, when you want to know the value of a call option, the VC, ni ile tulisema is the max of MPS minus E. That's what we said. Yeah, it's only that now sasa saa hii tunatumia X hapa, exercise price instead of E. Yeah, that's the concept. Now we are saying that there could be uncertainty. Hii price inaweza enda juu, inaweza enda chini. Actually, if you remember what we did when we computed the values of the options, tulikuwa tunasema the option is in money or out of money. In money, out. Now, in money or out depends on the price of the underlying by the time you are doing the exchange. Yeah. So the price can be, if for example, the exercise price is 0, is 50. Is 50. By the time it is ready to exercise, you can get something less than 50. or you can get something more than 50. Na sasa ukikumbuka zile diagrams mbili tulichora, sasa depending on whether you are a buyer or a seller, and depending whether it is a call or a put option, you are in money or out of money if the price has gone up or down. So hiyo maneno ndio tunajaribu kuleta ku appreciate that it can go up, it can go down. So if it goes up, obviously there will be a likelihood, a probability that we computed. So the value of the call option then will be based on the new value of the underlying. If it goes down, the value of the call option will be based on the value of the underlying that has gone down. Now, this is what can happen in period 1, maybe the first month. Then we go to the second month. When we go to the second month, the same thing here. If we go to the third period, sasa hii itaongezeka tu hivyo. Ni kama venye huwa tunachora tu the decision tree or the probability tree. Haya. Okay, good. If it's clearer, that's good. The next thing that now we need to compute ikiwa hivi is the number of securities to hold. Remember we said we do not want to have arbitrage. And we have been talking of arbitrage tukasema it is where you take advantage of mispricing. Advantage of mispricing. So, the smart analysts make profits out of that. So to avoid arbitrage happening, then there are a number of securities you must hold, N. And we already have shown how to compute N in one period. So for two period, N plus now, N plus will be given as C plus plus minus C plus minus, sorry. You divide by S plus plus minus clear 2C. S plus minus. And then if you want to get to know N, when now we go down, it will be C when we went down, then up, minus C when we went down and down. Then you do the same, S down, up, minus S down, down. So maybe we can do an example that could make it a little bit clearer. December 2021, question 1C. December 2021, question 1C, open there. Tumesema December 2021. Kuna ile inakuanga ya pilot, so let me modify this one. Hii yenye nataka ni ile ya exam. So the one for the exam, not the pilot. So if you are there, the question is there. Inasema X, Y, Z Limited share is currently selling at 10. The share price will increase by 5% or reduce by 5% 6 months from now. The risk-free rate is 6%. And the strike price is the price of the underlying, is 10. The option will be exercised after 6 months. So using risk-neutral approach, determine the value of the put option at the initial mode of the binomial tree. So, if we are using the binomial tree, let's first of all see what that means. We are starting here with the value of the underlying and then the put option. Then we can experience an upward move. We can experience an upward move and a downward move, whereby now we will have the S plus when the price goes up, and this S plus tumesema is given as the current S multiplied by the upward move, and then the P plus, if you know, you remember how we value put. Now, when you are valuing put, we start with the price of the exercise price. So it will be X minus the price of the underlying, then 0, that way. Then 0. Then if we go down here, it will be S negative. Na tukasema this is S multiplied by D, the down movement. Maybe we could even be labeling this is U and this is down. So our P negative or P down will be the max of the exercise price minus the price of the underlying, 0, the max. So now, S is currently 10. The price of the underlying, the share, is currently selling at 10. Now we said U should be the change 1 plus R. 1 plus R. Add this one or the increase. If you are looking for the increase, the upward movement, it should be the change, which is 0.05 plus 1, because it's an increase. So our U will be 1.05. Our U will be 1.05. And our D, we are told the down movement we can reduce. So 0.05 plus 1, it is 0.95. It is 0.95. And thus, how do we get S plus? S plus, our formula says here, it is S, that is 10, multiplied by the upward factor, U, this one, 1.05. So tell me what that value is. If we increase by 5%, good. So if we increase by, it will be 10.5. And then S, ama ni compute tu venye zimefuatana. Let me compute venye zinafuatana. So my P plus, it is the max. It is the max of the exercise price. So the exercise price, which is the strike rate there, it is 10. You minus the price of the underlying, this one, 10.5. So what will be the value of that put option? It will be 0. Good. Higher. When we go down, S down, it will be 10 times the down move, which is 0.95. So that gives us what? 9.5. And therefore, the put when we go down is going to be worth, the value of the put when we go down is going to be worth, the exercise price is 10, and the value of the underlying will be 9.5 6 months from now. So you tell me, zero point 0.5. Now, if you want to know N, the number of securities to hold, N, the number of securities to hold so that we do not have arbitrage, it will be given as P. Let me write the formula here. Minus P plus. P plus. Remember, put is opposite of the call. So if you compare the formula we had for the call, utaona call ilikuwa imeanza na positive. And then because you do not want a negative, this one you must then start with the S plus minus S down that way. So this will be 0.5 at P negative, P positive is 0. Then S up is 10.5 and S down is 9.5. So that is 0.5. So what this means is you hold 0.5 shares, 0.5 shares for every one put option. That's the meaning. You hold 0.5 . So now, we need to get R. R, the risk-free rate, we are told it is 6%. It is 6%. And obviously this 6% is per year. And because you are dealing with half a year, 6 months, so this one you must multiply by 6 out of 12. When you multiply by 6 out of 12, what do you get? $0.03. So pi, the probability of up movement, we gave the formula as 1 plus R minus D. So that remains. So it is 1 plus 0.03 minus D, the down factor, the down movement, 0.95. 0.95. You divide this by U minus D. The up factor is 1.05 minus the down factor 0.95, so that we get the probability of that price moving up. Yeah. Yeah. 0.8. So 0.8 is the probability of going up. Then 1 minus pi is 1 minus 0.8. This is 0.2. The probability of going down. The probability of going down. So, thus, the value of the put, tulisema hapa ndio niliongelea about the what? The expected value. So unachukua the probability of going up, this one, you multiply by the upward price, the P up, this one, it is 0, plus the probability of going down, multiplied by the value of the put if we go down, this one, 0.5. Then this one, tukasema you will kind of discount by saying 1 plus R. 1 plus R. So 1 plus 0.03. 1.03. Or 0.0971. Yeah, so that is the value of the put today. That's the value of the put today. So if you had been told it is a call option, you would use the same formula. Is that okay now? Okay. All right, let's look at another question. May 2015, question 3C. Question 3C. I realized that this question we had solved using delta. Sindio? And I think I'll just proceed and use to illustrate because ni kama sikupata swali ingine. Let me proceed and use to illustrate how you would go valuing a call option. But remember this one is a European. Na tumesema hii binomial inatumika kwa American. But I can use it as an illustration. I can use it as an illustration. But take note that this one use value using the delta because it is European and this binomial uses the American. But for purposes of illustrating the formulas that we have covered, let me just use it. Okay. So if we are going to use it, so then we have our illustration here. We have our S, we have our C, we have our S plus here, which will be given as a SU, And we have our C plus, which will be given as the max of the S plus minus X. That way, because a call option. Then we have the S down, which will be given as S current, multiplied by the down factor. The C down, which will be given as the max of the S down minus the exercise price. Minus the exercise price. Yeah. So sasa, kama you are using it as a call, itakuwa namna hiyo. Now, in this one, they already have told us what to be the price. They already have told us what to be the price. So if they have told us, so we are given that S, the current price. The current share price is 120. We are also given that S plus, if the price goes up, it is 132. And we are also given if the price goes down. I had told you that you change that price. Ilikuwa inakaa, I think sijui ilikuwa inasoma 30 ama nini. The correct one was 105. 105. So when we go down, now if you want to go, or if you want now to get this one, U. So meaning that our U, if I want to get U from this formula we had given earlier, it will be S plus, I divide by S. S plus, I divide by S. So my S plus will be 132, I divide by 120. Ndio nipate the upward movement factor. The upward movement factor 1.1. And if I want to know my D, it will be the S down minus the S current. So S down is 105, S current is 120. Is 120. Yeah, 0.875. 0.875. 0.875. So with that, we can also get our C plus. C plus will be the max of S plus. S plus is 132 minus the exercise price. The exercise price we are told is 125 and 0. So hii tulikuwa tumesema is giving us a price of what? 7, or value of 7. And then our C down is the max. Is the max of the MPS, or the price of the underlying down, which is 105 minus the exercise. So this one will give us what? Zero. Then our N, just like what we call delta, tukasema it is the C plus minus C negative or C down, you divide by the S up minus the S down. The S down. So the C up is 7, C down is 0. S up is 1, that's 2. And S down is 105. We come at it to compute delta. So tell me that is what? 0.2593. 0.2593. That means you hold 0.2593 shares. You hold 0.2593 shares for everyone for one call option. For one call option. For one call option. That's the meaning of that N. You hold 0.2593 shares for every one call option. So we need now to get the probability of upward movement. The probability of upward movement pi. Pi, utakumbuka tumesema, is given as 1 plus R minus D. One plus R minus D, you divide by U minus D. So this will be 1 plus. Now our R here, we are not dividing it because the period involved here is 1 year. We are told the price will be 1 year. The price movements will be about 1 year. The D down factor is 0.875. That's the down factor. You divide by U. U is the upward factor 1.1 minus the down factor. Minus the down factor. Minus the down factor. Yeah, 0.19. Is it really? I think I got a different value. 1 plus 0.9 minus 0.875. I divide by 1.1 minus 0.875. Everybody compute that value. Tell me whether you're getting a different value or not. Yes, 9556. So 1 minus pi then should be 1 minus 0.9556. Give me that. Yeah, 0.0344. So the value of the call currently, the value of that call currently tumesema you get the probability of being up, you multiply by the price of up or the value at up plus the probability of being down multiplied by the value down, and because those are the values 1 year from today, we discount them to today, 1 plus R. 1 plus R. So this proceeds on to become 0.9556 times the up. The up price is, the up value is 7 plus 0.0444 times the down price 0. Now this one you divide by 1 plus 0.09. So that we get the value of that call option today. Yeah, 6.1369. So that is what you do with 1 period. Now, if you are told it is 2 period, you just proceed with the same formula. Just now come and get ikisonga hapa juu na hapa chini. So, I believe now we are covered. We have looked at how you can use the binomial in a put and how you can use the binomial in a call. Although tumesema this one is just used for illustration because this one is referring to a European call. But we say binomial, the designer designed it to be used for the American. Okay, so for your practice, you will try this question of April 2023, question 2B. April 2023, question 2B. So That brings us to the end of that chapter number 6. The end of that chapter number 6. I think because we have like 10 minutes, there is no need of introducing the next topic, chapter 7. Chapter 7. We can introduce this tomorrow, God willing. Yeah, so we call it a lesson at that point. So have a good day. We meet tomorrow to now go to our new chapter number 7. Thank you.